Monica, we might move on to you for the SRE in school.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you mind sharing a little bit about what does that look like with
Yeah.
young people?
So I teach once a week. On Tuesday, I have 3 classes. I've got about 70 students. They're all from 5 years old all the way to 12 years old. I make sure that they do meditation every lesson. So every lesson we start with meditation, 5 minutes of meditations, and I guide them into meditation and I guide them out. The younger kids are very good. So the first two classes are very good, but the older class, the older kids, they know more. They're older, so they pretty much they were forced to go to that class. They didn't want to go to that class, so they don't like meditation and they don't like Buddhist class at all. Yeah. However, I still tell them this is Buddhist class. This is a choice. It's not a forced religion. So if you don't want to meditate, then you can stand outside. You don't have to be in the class. And I give them a choice. Before they start the lesson, I said to them, if you're going to be in my class, you have to meditate and you have to give it your best. You can't just do half-half. It's either all or out. In or out. That's what I tell them.
Yeah.
And so I said to them, this is your choice. And then they all agreed to stay. I said, okay, if you agree to stay, then you have to meditate. Yeah. So I have to, that's every lesson, I always give them a choice. Put your hands up if you want to leave the class. And they all, none of them want to put on their hands up. So they all have to stay. So I would give them that motivation to give it their all, to meditate. And I tell them that meditation is an important part of the Buddhist practice. And so it's a good start to the lesson because by the time they come and see me, the class, they've been very busy, like in and out of classrooms and, teachers, all the activity they are, and they're coming back from recess or lunch. And so they're very chaotic. And so just to start the lesson with just grounding them down, calming them down, making them sort of focus and so the lessons have a good start and so that they can flow into the Buddhist teaching, into the Dharma.
Fantastic. Yeah. Another impression is, does it actually work? My eldest is 5 years old.
It does, because often they come in, they're so hot, or they say, oh, can we put on the air conditioner? I go, no, we're going to meditate. You're going to calm down. You're going to use your inner peace and your inner calmness, and you're going to calm down and you're going to be more cooler.
Yeah. And are there any, particular instances, stories from the children that stand out, that what meditation meant?
Look, I've been teaching the class for about more than nearly 10 years, like when I was 30. So yeah, 10 years I've been teaching. And I've been teaching to a lot of different schools as well. But there isn't any story that stands out a lot. But however, I do have some of my students at the end of the year, they write a little letter, and on the letter or the thank you card, they tell me, oh, because of Buddhism or because what you teach me, now I know that I should be calm and I shouldn't get angry, or something like that, like some little message that they've learned during my class that gives me more inspiration to continue.
Yeah.
Because it's like planting a seed in their little mind, their little young mind, just so that even if they don't remember most of what I teach them, at least some of them comes across saying something like, oh, I remember my teacher said to me, at this situation, I have to be calm. Or at this situation, I have to be nice. Or at this situation, I have to be kind. Like those little things that they don't know anything about, even if they don't know anything about the story of the Buddha, or even they don't know anything about, meditation. But at least that little message that I get to them, that's what I love. That's what that's what motivates me to continue every year.
I hear that, and I think that what you said there is a bit of a an analogy for that's just what life is, right? Like people are they're running between all of those different things, and to get them to sit down for even 5 minutes and plant that seed.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was in the same position. I had some SRE, and we just sat, and then you remember that 10 years later, you know, when you're stressed or something, and you go back to that the home.
Yes.
And
Yes. So I'm the same. I had SCR's teacher when I was in Wilkin Public School, like a long time ago, like a long 30 years ago, more than 35 years ago. And I still remember my teacher. I don't remember my teacher name. I don't remember Buddhist class. All I remember was that calmness, that peace, that whenever I come into that class, and how the teacher that conveyed that message of calm and peace. And so it's sort of, I always remember it at the back of my head, and it helped me in my life. It helped me sort of gone back into Buddhism in high school when I was struggling, and also because high school was a struggle for me, and also early training was a struggle for me. And so I was able to use that to help me in my life, because I remember, even though when I was in primary school, my teacher didn't know my family history. They didn't know that I come from a domestic violence family. They didn't know that my mom and dad fought every day, and they had fights, and we had police coming into our house and everything. However, my Buddhist teacher taught me that whatever chaos you have in your life, you can come to Buddhist class and you can be safe. You can have inner peace, and you can have calmness. And so from there, I remembered as I grew up, and then I came back into Buddhist class. I started going to Buddhist temples. I started reading Buddhist books. And because my mom and my dad were very chaotic, they were very, very toxic people. And so I was able to distance myself and had other role models. And so when I look at my Buddhist students, I don't know their family history. I don't know what they have in their life. But what motivates me is that as long as I sort of give them a little bit of inspiration, that calmness, that peace that they can go to, that they can feel safe, they can talk to me about it if they have any family issues. So it's really, really good. I always tell my students that as soon as I finish meditation and that I go, do you feel that calmness inside you? Do you feel that peace inside you? And they say, yes, I do. They do. They put their hands up and they say, yes, I feel a bit more calmer, feel a bit more peaceful. And I said, you know, you can come to me just like you can come to the Buddha, you can come to the Dharma when there's chaos or when there's storm in your life, and someone will help you. They can help you.
That's extraordinary that, you know, because, well, in modern society, there's just everything's instant gratification. There's so many things you can, you know, social media, you can watch this, you can do that, and it's all, you don't even need much money to do that these days. But you know, it doesn't have them overcome that chaos and the, you know, these huge experiences, especially as they grow up and suffering. So I really hear, Monica, like I know that there's, I believe, somewhere between 80 to 100 or more SRE teachers are out there like you every week. I didn't really get, you know, 70 students, that's a lot, right? Like, that's a lot. I've got my 2 kids.
So 3 classes, about 25 students each class. 20,
Still,
22,
you know,
25,
But yeah, no, just to say, you know, I mean, getting an idea for everyone listening in, just like how many young people are being impacted, you know, like that little thing. You know, I believe
it's like
it's
a little seed planted in the head, like little seed, one by one over the years. I don't know how many students I planted that little seed in, but I'm thinking hopefully.
And then you mentioned you've done that for 10 years, you know, so that's really.
I'm like a little Dharma farmer. Like little seed, one by one, little seed.
So really rejoicing with you, Monica. Thank you so much for the work you do, and it's really good to hear. And
I'm very motivated to continue with my work. Like I just think that it's not big. It's not a big. I'm not changing the world, but this is my little seed that I'm planting in little kids' mind.
That's fantastic. So is there anything for you on behalf of the SRE